Hey everyone, I'm coming at you with another video. I know I usually only do my Arrowhead topics, and I kind of explore myself and explore other people channels through that way, kind of giving them a challenge. But this time I decided to kind of run off on my own and do this. But I definitely encourage anyone that watches this and has their own unique point of view on it. Um, to this to shoot me the video, and so I can look at it, and tell me your ideas on it or whatnot, or post down below and tell me your ideas. But basically the topic is, what is awakening, or what is it to be awakened? um, I say a lot, don't I? Well, that is a tall cup of tall order to really deliver, but I can give you a rough definition, and really that definition is, it's you and the universe kind of working in conjunction with each other. You're not such a self-serving person to where everything is for you. Why is this happening to me? Why did this happen? It's not my fault, it's the other person's fault. You're not a self-serving person when you're awakened. When you're awakened, you realize that things happen, and you just sort of have to solve the situation and then move on from it. Another kind of definition is, you know it's when all your senses are awakened, and they work together, because sometimes there are cases where your eyes and your ears are kind of off a little, and they don't work together. But it's really when all your senses have worked together, as well as your mind, your soul, and the universe. There are four parts, that kind of have to like intermingle and really just do their thing so you can be awakened. How I explain this is, there's not just one thing happening in your body, as just like there's not just one thing happening in the world or the universe right now. There are a million different things going on in your body, as well as the universe. Um, we are one part of an equation. You as an individual are one part of a billionth part equation. And if you are not doing what you should be doing, your part in the equation, you're pulling everyone else in the equation down and making them work harder to make up for your part. So being awakened, in a sense, is realizing that you are just a grain of sand in the world. Um, but that doesn't mean that you can't do things. That doesn't mean that you are insignificant in any way. It means that you will need others to do things as well. It's not just you. Um, this is a hard video to make. So with that being said, when you are awakened, what are some signs? Well, essentially, it's eureka moments, those aha moments where you're experiencing something, but you don't know how to put it into words. Awakening is like that. Words are very constricting, especially the American language, I think, because it's such a hodgepodge of different languages and cultures, just mishmashed together, and boom, there's a language. I believe that the American language is very constricting in that sense, that it's hard to communicate your ideas to other people. And I think that's another thing with awakening. Is like awakening is, and essentially you're able to see past words, in a sense that you understand things on a different level. Well, this is a harder video than I thought. Kind of think of it as your kids. Your kids are naturally awakened. I believe that we are naturally awakened when we come into this world. we are programmed in a certain way to believe that we have to learn these things to be smarter, to be wiser, to be, whatever, to function in this world. But everything that we learn is man-made. It's not something that the universe put before us and said, here, learn this. We naturally breathe on our own. We naturally eat. We naturally sleep. These are, things that we do on our own. Every problem that we have in our life, we have to realize that the majority of them, if not all of them, are man-made. Um, and kids are so simple, but yet so profound that if they were to get hurt, they wouldn't do. They learn from that. They won't do it again. But as grown-ups, what's the expression that we use? What doesn't kill you make you stronger. So people can misinterpret that and just keep inflicting harm on themselves. As a kid, when they get hurt, they're like, screw that, I'm not doing that again. We're going to do that a different way. And that's essentially an awakened moment, is when you kind of think on such a simple mode, as a simple thought, and yet it's so profound. Um, wow, this is a hard topic, but I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's being awakened is, in a sense, is that you think a different way. Comedians are much like kids. Well, the very good ones, the very clean ones, the ones that aren't making their living off making fun of other people and just cussing and telling dirty jokes. There are true comedians out there, that think in the world in such a different way that when they bring it up to us, we laugh so hard and we're like, yeah, I never thought of it like that. It's so funny because it's true, and that's just how, when you are awakened, you can do wonderful things like that. It's essentially you're looking at the world in another point of view. And like I said, this is just my rough definition. I'm sure, like, when this video is over, I'm gonna be like, oh, I should have said something else, but that's my basic definition. Is really, it's really when you are functioning on a different level than other people, because your senses are awakened, your soul is awakened, and you can function with the universe instead of against it. Um, one simple way to get there is a meditation exercise that I use, um, especially when I was starting off, because I really didn't know what meditation was. Most people think meditation is to shut down your mind. Well, meditation is not about shutting down your mind. It's about clearing your mind of distraction so you can focus. So when you sit down in meditation, you just don't go, nope, I'm not thinking about that. Nope, I'm not thinking about that. Nope, I'm not thinking about that. No, it's not that. You're supposed, in meditation, true meditation, you're actually supposed to let your mind wander. And what they say is follow that thought, see it through, and then when you're done, come back to your breathing. Come back to the space where you are. And that's true meditation. So after you do that and you clear all your distractions from your day, from your life, sometimes it might take several sessions to do this. And especially as you get older, it's really harder to meditate, just because we go through so many experiences, and we tend to be attached to so many emotions, so many past things that have happened. We create the story of all these emotions that have happened. Well, this happened because of this, and I was in the right because of this. And then you make a whole story, you make a whole melodrama there. You can make a TV series out of why that happened, instead of just letting it go and saying, well, that shit happened a long time ago, I'm done with it. Once you're done with, clearing that out of your system, out of your life, and just being free of it, purging yourself of those, I always say go to the why exercise. kids do this all the time to you, and it frustrates you because you have to come up with an answer. Um, Sometimes they're very creative, and sometimes, they're very true at the same time. So just ask the why. Why why am I hurting today? Why do I feel pain? Because I hurt my knee. Why? Because I was silly and ran into the door. Why? And you just keep going to the why, and eventually you'll hit a point where you can no longer come up with an answer, and that will essentially help you out, and it'll essentially bring you to the root of the problem, because everything in your life has a cause, and everything in your life has an effect to the causes that you do, and it's a domino effect. You can't change one thing in your life without changing 10 other things. You know, think of it in a way, say a school mom, she has to take the kids to school, then get groceries and do 9 other things. But if she speeds on the way to go take her kids to school, she gets pulled over, which makes her late for dropping the kids off school, which makes her late to doing this, to that. So eventually, when she gets home, puts her groceries up, and has a moment to rest, she realizes, well, I don't have a moment to rest, because guess what? Now I'm late. I was 2 hours late. Now I got to go do it all over again, pick up the kids, come home, make dinner, and whatever, everything in your life is affected by something else. And I probably went way off topic. I know that, but whatever. I'm on a rant. So everything in your life is affected by everything else, and in a sense that you are a part of a huge equation in a sense. So you as a human being are affecting someone else whether you know it or not. There is no such thing as being passive in life, because even being passive, you're taking a, a, a decision. You're making a moment. You're not being passive. So there is no such thing as being passive in life. Um, Such thing as taking the middle road, yes, but not being passive. In a sense, when I say that, I mean, if there's two coworkers at work, one of them likes this show, another one likes that show, instead of saying, hey, I like your show, and pissing that person off, or vice versa, you go, well, none of those are really my genre. I like just watching Oprah, you took the middle road. You were like, I ain't dealing with that. So it's like that. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore, but heck, let's just go with it. So, I mean, I even wrote notes, and I'm not even following my notes. So, essentially, awakening leads to enlightenment. And enlightenment's a whole nother topic, and really, it is not. It is and it isn't not. Um, Enlightenment is really just, using your awakening experience to the fullest potential, as well as helping other people out. I mean, I'm a big believer that everything starts with you. Um, and then there's two other parts of the formula in your life that which direction you go is up to you. In Buddhism, they say you take refuge in the 3 gems, and that's the Sangha, which is your community, the Buddha, which is basically, your religion or your doctrine or something that you follow, um, that to kind of keep you on I guess, a moral compass, if you will, and yourself. I believe that you can't help the community and you can't help your moral compass if you yourself are just out of control. So you have to start with yourself first. Um, and then from there, it's up to you what you want to do. I mean, you can go to your community and help your community out, which in turn helps everyone out. You know, you don't have to be religious to be awakened. You don't have to be spiritual to be awakened. It's just sort of, well, maybe you do have to be a little bit spiritual, because I guess in the American definition, spiritual is about having a soul, And I believe to be truly awakened, you do work in conjunction with your soul. But that, how I explain that is, you can go to school and learn everything you want, but that's still not going to make you awaken. That's going to make you educated. Um, your soul works with your mind, and in a sense, if awakening was only learning information, that's like trying to touch your own finger with your one finger. Like, we ourselves, we have a soul, and everything that we think we see and we think we know are all interpretations of the brain, and the brain sends it to the soul. So essentially, we are we are communicating to our soul all the time. No matter what we do, we're communicating to that soul, to that energy, that thing that keeps us alive. You know, and we don't know, what we're really seeing. We're all seeing an interpretation of what the mind sees. Our eyes don't see it, our ears don't hear it, our hands don't feel it. Our mind does. Our mind tells us that that's what we're feeling. Um, so that's my thought. I think, we're all communicating with the soul, and in a sense, being awakened is you communicating with your soul and seeing the real thing, seeing the real what's really going on. And a few people can sit back and say, that's what I see, and that's what being awakened is. It's essentially being inside the box, but at the same time looking outside the box and on the inside, and remaining objective. Even though you're the one on the inside of the box, and there are situations happening, and you want to be the one where you have a biased opinion, an awakened person will actually step outside the box and look in and say, well, this is what's really going on. That, in a sense, is being awakened, or an element of being awakened. And the more you have moments like that, defines, that you're awakened. There are moments in our life, or moments in many people's life, where they just have one awakening, a eureka moment, um, and then all of a sudden it shuts back down. And I think a lot of that's because, like I said, our brain isn't interpreting things. It's telling us what to think, what's going on. It's our translator, in a sense, and then we feel it somewhere in here with the soul and the heart and everything that keeps us going. Um, I lost my train of thought, but anyway. um, so what was I saying? Okay, anyway, but yeah, that's essentially what it is. I went on a rant, and I'm sure this makes no sense anymore, but what the hell, I'm going to post it. Um, and I'm just going to end right here, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because, I mean, like I said, it's a tall order to kind of to sit down and to define what really being awakened is. I mean, I think every religion has their own sort of what awakened is. I believe Christianity is, being awakened is heaven, in a sense. Though some people might say that's actually nirvana, but I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm ending it here. What the hell? All right, I'll talk to you guys later.